over the past few months, I've been testing ChatGPT and other language models to see if they can act like IELTS examiners. For this video, I took 30 real essays and compared AI band scores to real examiner scores. So let's look at what happened and what it means for your preparation. It all started when I received this message from Maria. I've been preparing for my IELTS for 5 months, but I think I'm gonna fail my exam anyway. I get band 8 or 9 in listening and reading, but writing almost never reaches band 7. I must score a 7 everywhere to start my master's in September. What can I do? Well, Maria had been using ChatGPT to check how good her essays were, and I decided to do the same. I took one of her essays and gave this prompt to ChatGPT. You are an experienced IELTS examiner who assesses IELTS writing task 2 essays using the IELTS band descriptors. Give me the band scores for the 4 assessment criteria and the overall task 2 band score. I posted the essay and the result stunned me. Task response, or how well you respond to the task, band 6. Coherence and cohesion, or the flow and structure of your essay, band 6. Lexical resource or vocabulary, band 6. Grammar and overall, band 6. Are you sure this score is so low? I asked. And ChatGPT gave me a full explanation of why it couldn't possibly be any higher. So I sent the same essay using the same prompt to several other language models. Claude gave a band 7 for task response and coherence and cohesion, but only band 6 for vocabulary and grammar, which resulted in an overall 6.5. DeepSeek was more generous, giving a band 7. Gemini also landed at a band 6. And since I have a paid subscription for ChatGPT, I could test its latest 4.5 model with more advanced reasoning, or at least definitely the slowest model. And that one gave a band 7. To be honest, none of that looked right to me. So I decided to conduct a more thorough experiment and see if AI can actually give accurate scores, which models perform better, and if the scores are wrong, are they usually too high or too low? I sent Maria's essay to a former IELTS examiner on our team, and while I was waiting, I found 27 essays from Cambridge practice tests. So books like that. And all the essays are graded by official IELTS examiners. As you can see, each essay comes with a score and examiner's notes. So I uploaded these essays into ChatGPT one by one, and what I found could save you weeks of wasted preparation. So let's take the first essay and upload it with the same prompt as before. So ChatGPT thinks it's a band 6. But I see 2 problems. So first, the grammar score is listed as 5.5. But in IELTS, you can only get a band 5 or a band 6 for each criterion, not 5.5. So this would be a band 5. And the overall score wouldn't be a 6 either. To get a band 6 overall, you need at least a 6 in each criterion. But in any case, the examiner's score for this essay is a band 7, not a 6. Next essay, band 5.5 according to ChatGPT, but again the examiner gave it a 7. And that's a huge difference. Essay 3, so ChatGPT says band 5. Yet, once again, this is a band 7. Now, look at this one. ChatGPT calls it a 5.5, but the examiner's score is a band 8. That's a 2.5 band difference. And I'm going to show you the essay on the screen. It's really good. How could it possibly be 5.5? At this point, I started wondering whether it even made sense to continue. Every essay I'd sent so far had been undervalued by at least 1 full band, and in some cases, by 2.5 bands. But then I realized something. Maybe the scores dropped after I told ChatGPT not to use half bands when marking individual criteria. So I started a brand new chat with just the initial prompt, and things began to improve. Suddenly, there was a correct score, band 6, when it was really a band 6. And overall, the scores were now mostly just half a band lower than they should be, which honestly isn't bad for a language model compared to a trained human examiner. But here's the thing. Not a single essay got a score higher than it deserved. The result was either accurate or too low. That said, this wasn't a perfect experiment. Most of the essays were between bands 5 and 7. Only one was a band 8, and none were a band 9. But we really want to know, if you write a brilliant essay band 8 or 9, will ChatGPT recognize it? Or any other language model? So I took my own essay and another written by one of our examiners and tested them exactly the same way I tested Maria's essay. First, I sent both to a different form examiner for scoring, not the author, to avoid any conflict of interest. And let's start with my essay, then Kevin's, and finally see how the other examiner scored all 3 of us, including Maria. So let me send my essay to ChatGPT. Okay, band 8 for task response, band 8 for coherence. Basically, a band 8 for the whole essay. Well, that's more inspiring. What if we try the smartest model, 4.5? Is it going to be any different? Actually, no, it's still a band 8, but with a band 9 for grammar, so thank you very much. Now Claude. I know a lot of people love it, so I thought we should definitely check it. Okay, so it gave me a band 7 for vocabulary and grammar and 7.5 overall. Not exactly the kind of examiner I'd want in my test. I got an 8.5 in the real exam, and this essay is better. What about DeepSeek? To be honest, it's my first time using it. A band 8. And Gemini? Oh, really? A band 7? Oh wait, look. It gave a band 7 in every criterion, but the overall score is 7.5. Gemini, why? How does it even work? Well, it gave a long reply, and to be honest, it's total rubbish. It's not even worth reading to you. It seems I'm feeling a bit protective of my essay. So let's take Kevin's essay and see how well our examiner did. It should be fun. So ChatGPT band 8 and this smarter model, that's also band 8. It's quite strange actually. I did them all and Kevin's essay got exactly the same scores as mine. How is it possible when 2 different people wrote them? I'm not sure. But the key question is, what did our other examiner award us? So my essay scored between 8.5 and 9 and Kevin's got 8.5. I didn't tell the other examiner whose essays they were, I just sent them as 1, 2, 3. And Kevin, if you're watching this, 8.5 is a fantastic score. So it seems that for essays with really high scores, language models do give relatively high scores. But there is one more score left, and the one that matters most, Maria's essay. The whole reason why we started this experiment. And Maria's essay got an 8. Imagine you're writing band 8 essays, but every time you check with ChatGPT, it tells you you're band 6. What would that do to your motivation? And Maria isn't the only one either. Here's another message I received. This candidate also got 6.5 to 7 by ChatGPT, but an 8 in a real exam. So, what can we take away from this? First of all, AI tends to underrate essays rather than overrate them. This means if you're relying on AI feedback, you might think you're doing worse than you really are. 2. The gap is the biggest for mid-band essays. So, band 5 and 6 essays were sometimes pretty close, maybe half a band off. But 7 and 8 essays were often underrated by 1 or even 2 full bands. 3. AI can recognize quality. It knows when an essay is good, but it really struggles to award those top-level scores. And AI doesn't follow IELTS scoring rules correctly, like using half bands when they don't even exist. And finally, the results vary a lot between models. So use AI to check your vocabulary and grammar, or get help with ideas and flow, but don't rely on it for scoring. Instead, learn the requirements examiners use for yourself. And I go through every single one of them while writing a full answer in this video here. And thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye!